Hello, readers and writers. I am MJ, your resident autistic, non-binary, sci-fi, and fantasy writer. Today, actually this whole weekend, I am going to be taking you with me to MileHi Con in Denver, Colorado. This is the first time I've been at this con, but I've heard such amazing things, and I am so excited for it. It is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I am speaking on 2 panels, so I will try and get you to see as much as possible. We'll see how that goes. But also, happy Halloween! Or happy Samhain, if you celebrate that as well. And yeah, I'm excited. This is my first big event as a full-time author, so let's do this. Well, happy Halloween, everyone. It's about over now. Made it back home for our first night. We are coming back and forth between where we live and the place because, you know, hotel rooms are expensive. So today, day 1 of MileHi, this is the first year I've been going there. I did not sell a single book. So it's not starting off to a great start. I knew that the con lacked a sense of diversity going in, but I guess I didn't realize exactly how apparent that was going to be, with people immediately going to the older white authors tables and skipping over, honestly, pretty much anyone who was not an older white author. So, and people just walking away in the middle of me telling them what I wrote. So I'm hoping tomorrow has a lot more people, and it's going to be great because there were some amazing people at the con. Also, some other trans people, some other queer people, definitely a lot of neurodiverse individuals. So I'm hoping tomorrow we find our people and are able to make our connections. I'm very excited. If nothing else, hanging out with the authors is always a really, really good time. Alright, day 2 at MileHi, so hopefully today is going to be a very busy day. It's Saturday, there's a lot of people running through the lobby, and here's hoping to meeting a lot of fantastic people today.
Still light outside.
I know. Thinking the same thing. It was like super dark when we left yesterday.
When did we leave?
6. Maybe we stayed later.
We didn't leave that much later than now. Maybe we're just catching the sunset.
Maybe. Whew. Hey y'all. We are about to drive home from the second day of MileHi, and today has been a trip. Ups and downs. Wow. So let's start with the highlights. I was able to meet some really cool people. I definitely met some, younger trans people that kept coming up to me and talking to me, which was awesome because let me know that I was a safe space for them, and that helped me to remember why I'm out here, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I mean, yeah, I need to sell books. Yeah, I need to pay bills. Yes, I want people to read my stories, but it's also about visibility. It's about people seeing us and knowing that, we're just people. And to be able to have, some younger trans people being able to see me and being that safe space for them was fantastic, because this event absolutely needed safe spaces. But before I go into that, I did a panel today. I wasn't able to record any of it. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get some footage. The panel today was on putting trauma into your art, and it went really, really well. There's some excellent questions by the audience. The panel, other fellow panelists were fantastic, and I think it went really well. It was a really great conversation, and I'm really happy with that. It's the first ever panel that I've done. I was obviously very nervous, but it was such a great experience, and to have some of those people that were in attendance come and talk to me after the fact was fantastic. Now, some of the not great things, like just now, one of the last people I talked to today, basically nothing, said, well, you will not be able to write these books in Trump America, which, I mean, it is Trump's America, and I am writing these books, and that is what I said. And I will keep writing these books. That was very much the tone of the conference being a trans autistic and openly trans autistic author in public spaces. I do get a lot of comments, a lot of weird looks, a lot of people just seeing my table and passing it, which is fine. They have every right. I'm very open about what I am so that they don't need to engage if they do not want to. But specifically this morning, I had a very intense interaction that thankfully another author saved me from. It was very homophobic. It was very transphobic. It was very disgusting, the things that were being talked about, and I was trying to engage and still be in that public space, still be in front of my business, while I'm being engaged with that way. And thankfully someone stepped in and helped me get out of that situation, and it was the worst part of the con. It was really intense, and it was very apparent, but there were so many other smaller interactions, especially this morning as well, that made it honestly a very difficult day. I did kind of break into tears at one point, but I was able to stop myself pretty fast. So it's been a very intense day. We'll see what happens tomorrow about whether I do come back next year. I know MileHi was saying they're trying to make it a more diverse space, and there's so many people in attendance that are queer, that are trans, but that doesn't make it a safe environment, and it doesn't make it, I don't know, there was still a sense of unsafety while you're sitting there. And part of it's people saying, hey, you can't write this in Trump's America. Hey, you don't belong here. Even people with pride pins on. And it's like, okay, so are you a safe space or are you not a safe space? And it's just so much of that. And it's not just being non-binary, being trans. There's so much for it being autistic as well. I had an autistic person come to me and tell me that because I'm autistic, really bad stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it on camera, but it was a hard day. There was definitely bright parts to it, but it was a hard day. and now I can drive home. And I will be back up here tomorrow. So yeah, here's the end of MileHi Con Day 2. Getting ready to head out to our last day of MileHi Con today. Should be interesting, but hopefully it's not too interesting. Not just like a formal relationship, and especially when that identity is currently under attack. We have to be very careful when we are representing queerness in all forms. So I am aromantic and asexual, so a lot of the work to do have a lot of friendship interactions with them, not just intimate relationships. So that's a very important dynamic to me, and so that may be deemed as unconventional, but I think, again, we just need to be very intentional with how we're defining a group of individuals that are, like, currently they're in the case being decided by the Supreme Court whether or not gay marriage is going to be overturned, and gay marriage has only been legal for the last decade, which is not a very long time. So I'm 45, so that's most of my life that it has been illegal to verify. So yeah, so I
agree kind of with everybody so far. Like it feels to me like a lot of it is sort of in the eye of the beholder a little bit. You know, everybody comes from their own place, and that place often will sort of direct their understanding of what a conventional relationship would be, what that looks like. I think it's kind of the challenge of a lot of people's lives to look beyond that and accept, you know, the sort of love is love kind of perspective on things. And it doesn't have to be romantic love, it can be friendship, as we talked about.
MileHi Con is done. It is a wrap. We're home. I am about ready to collapse. We just walked in the door, but I wanted to give an update on today and how today went. Overall, a much better day today. Super excited about that. All the really cool people that I got to meet yesterday came back and said hi. Maybe not all of them, but you know, a lot of them, and we got to really have conversations, which I really appreciated. The people that were a little less chill yesterday, either were just not there today, or were nicer today, or just didn't even talk to me, which honestly worked out really well. But today started off fantastic. There was a meeting for the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Alliance, which I have just recently joined, so still a newbie to the actual alliance. So it was my very first meeting, and so it was great going in and meeting all the other authors. Yes, most of them are older white males, but they were so cool and so accepting of everyone in the room, and it was just a great tone for the rest of the meeting, where we got to talk about being a writer and the concerns of the science fiction and fantasy community. And so that was fantastic. And it wasn't all older white men, just mostly. And so it was a really cool vibe, and I appreciated that. And then after that, I went and spoke on a panel. I got to sit on the big stage, which was a little intimidating and exciting at the same time. I feel like I've grown as an author and kind of made it to a new level, which is fantastic. And then, the rest of the day was just chilling at my booth and really just hanging out with people. I did do some sales this time, but things are tough right now for everyone. So myself included, so definitely still hoping that everyone is in a better financial state next year to be able to spend some more money on books. But overall, a so much better con, so there is a chance I will be back next year. So thank you for coming on this journey with me, and I hope you enjoyed this vlog. As always, keep reading, keep writing, and keep dreaming. Until next time.